Hello and welcome to Tory Social. Welcome. So today, this morning, we're going to be talking about how wonderful, how awesome, how incredible the Tory party is. We've had 14 years now of Tory shenanigans and it's been absolutely wonderful. So, first of all, I'd just like to say it is Monday, the 1st of April, 2024. We've been in power now for 14 years. And if anyone wants to ask a question, you need to pay for it. So, super chats, please, into the chat. That would be wonderful. Right, thank you very much. You may ask questions if you pay for it. And that goes away, scribble it away into my offshore bank account in the Caymans. Anyway, so I'm going to go through a few of the things that we've done over the last 14 years to improve your life. One of my favourite things is that we've plunged 14.4 million people into poverty, while at the same time making ourselves exceedingly rich, ridiculously rich, horrifically rich. Oh my God. Right, private schools got to go. No guarding. Private schools. Everyone who is rich goes to private school. They get all the top jobs. You, plebs, get nothing. You leave with nothing. I say, good day to you, sir. What else have we done? We've not improved the economy for 14 years. It's not grown in 14 years. In fact, the economy was worth more per person in 2007. That was 17 years ago. We've done a tremendous job. I think you'll have to agree at growing the economy for the rich, because the rich have indeed got richer. There are now 171 billionaires in Britain. Oh my God. Anyway, we've had a little redecoration around here because obviously we couldn't have that red muck with Labour written everywhere. I mean, with that fella Keith, I call him Keith. I'm tremendously hilarious, you know. I call him, because his name is Kia, but I call him Keith. I go down tremendously well at parties, I've got to say. I'm very funny. I'm very funny. Tarquin and Guinevere both say to me every time they see me, and Gasper, they say, oh, Graham, you're so funny. Being all funny, calling him Keith. Sometimes I call him Kid Starver. I don't know why. It just makes no sense. They're not even in power. But I'm sure if they did get into power, they would starve children. Because that's the sort of thing that Labour would do, you know. I mean, it's not like I'm being paid by the Tory party to just slag off Labour at every opportunity. And when presented with the opportunity to destroy the Tory party, instead of, you know, destroying the Tory party and joining in with the whole tactical voting thing, I choose to go, no, Labour will be just as bad. Because I'm an idiot. Yes. Rich idiot, though. Went to private school, Eton, Harrow, Winchester, all three of them. Expelled from all of them for being just too groovy. Well, Soggy Biscuit and Tom Tuggenhat, which is a game we used to play. The loser had to wear the hat. Don't want to even go in there. Anyway, so it's been a marvellous 14 years with us in power, and we've made sure that we have put up trade barriers to our closest neighbours. We've filled the rivers with shocking amounts of shit. An obscene amount. I mean, we had the Oxford boat race this weekend. It was wonderful. Normally they throw their cocks into the river, but they couldn't do that this weekend. Instead, they were vomiting with E. coli. Because of all the shit that us Tories allowed the water companies that we privatised to put in the water. Yeah. I love this privatisation idea. So what it is we go around and we say, we don't like immigrants. That's a big thing for us. We don't like immigrants. We don't like them, right? But if you stay in your own country, you know, stay in your lane, sir. If you stay in your own country, then we will enrich you greatly. All we need you to do is buy shares in our previously public services, like, I don't know, the water companies and the train companies and the electricity companies. And what we do is we give you massive dividends instead of actually providing a decent service to the people of Britain who we charge you in the nose. You can use those extra pounds to subsidise whatever the hell it is you're doing in your own country. Just stay there. Don't come here. Just stay there, please. Well, some of you can come here. Obviously, we need people to come and do the jobs that we don't want to do, but they can't bring their families. I mean, come on. It's not like we're human. Anyway, so we're talking a little bit this morning about all the wonderful, wonderful things that the Tories have done over the last 14 years. So let's start with austerity. That was an amazing idea. So what it was we thought there wasn't enough money in the economy. So what we thought we'll do is we would make it so that people have less money. And they were buying fewer things. So say you had a business and you made things in your business, right? You would sell less of those things that you made because people wouldn't have the money to buy the things that you made. And that would grow the economy, you see, by magic. And then we thought, well, that's not working very well. So we went for a thing called Brexit. Brexit is the most marvellous idea that's ever been ideated. It's tremendous. It's very good. It's very good. We had devised this concept where we would tell all of our neighbours who live nearby, rich countries, that we didn't want their custom. Your money is no good to me. Yeah, yes. Get your euros, stick them up your arse, get out my shop. What we want is Angolan kwanzas. Kwatches, I think it's called. I can't remember. Vietnamese dong. Uzbek som. That's what we want. And look, lashings and lashings of Russian rupees. It's always good. Is it rupees? No, that's India, old chap, isn't it? Rubles. Rubles is Russia. I always get them mixed up. The great game. Them were the days, eh? We sure showed those Ruskies a thing or two. Although we did get bogged down in Afghanistan a few times. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so we told our rich friends to go away, and we said we'll trade with poor people on the other side of the planet who haven't got any money instead. We put up these massive, great, stonking trade barriers, make it very, very difficult for anyone to trade into the country or out of the country. Made everyone poorer. And do you know what the best bit about this was? We got people... Stay with me on this one. We got people on the left to go along with it. We got people like Owen Jones and Jeremy Corbyn to go, yes, this is a great idea. Mick Lynch, he went, yay, let's make the poor poorer. And you asked them to explain why it's a good idea to make the poor poorer. They haven't got a clue. But that's literally what happened. That's what happened because of Brexit. But the rich got richer, so much richer, because there's a thing called disaster capitalism. It's like normal capitalism, only slightly more disastrous. We usually save it for, countries like Chile and Brazil and Iraq, but we thought we'd give it a go ourselves. See how we get on. It's been marvellous. The biggest flow of money from the poor to the rich in British history. The highest levels of poverty, the highest levels of child poverty, the lowest levels of 5-year-olds. Like, they're low. They're not as big as they used to be because of malnutrition. In Britain in 2024. Elephant polo. Yes, let's do the old elephant polo. No, we'll be doing that later. Anyway, so that wasn't enough of a wheeze for us. Along came COVID. Oh, I loved a bit of COVID. It was wonderful. We made so much money. Like, you wouldn't believe how much money we made. A disgusting, a disreputable, a hilarious amount of money. Us and our friends, for instance, Michelle Bone, who is one of our lords, Tory lords, was in the House of Lords, and she said, hey, my husband can supply substandard PPE that you won't be able to use. And we said, by jingo, that sounds like a good idea. Here's £300 million of taxpayers' money. Go and buy yourself a yacht and some houses in Glasgow for your children. And that's what she did with that money. And the PPE they supplied, half of it didn't work because it wasn't double bagged. But, they weren't to know that. It's not like they were a PPE supplying company or anything, because they weren't. No, they were just mates of the Tories. Yeah, so anyway, we embezzled, we grew our riches. We didn't grow the economy, of course. But that wasn't enough for us. So we'd had austerity, we'd had our Brexit, we'd put up trade barriers, we'd made everyone poorer, and then we'd taken all the money that we had and we gave it to our friends. 10 billion lost in COVID fraud. Oh, bloody hell. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful story, especially if you're rich. I mean, if you've made some money out of it, made coin, as they say in America. The colonies. Anyway, shed a tear. Anyway, so that wasn't enough for us, because nothing is enough. You know, there's the old joke, isn't there? What's the one guy got that the rich man will never have? Enough! We'll never have enough. We decided to put Liz Truss in charge. A little bit of shenanigans in this, so what we did, we made it so that anyone could vote for who could be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Well, not anyone. You had to be a member of the Tory party. But here's the rap. You didn't have to be British. You didn't have to live here. You didn't even have to speak English. That's right. We allowed anyone from anywhere in the world to join the Overseas Friends of the Conservative Party, or whatever it was called, and, vote. So that's what we did. And we ended up with Liz Truss. And she was wonderful. Her and her Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, wonderful chap. I went to Harrow, Eton, Winchester with him. He was very good at soggy biscuit, I've got to say. We had an emergency budget in which we cut taxes without, setting out how to get any more money. It was a budget where we're going to spend all our money. It was a bit like, when we did the Brexit thing, and we went into the bank and said, we want to start a business. And they said, what do you want to do? And we said, we want to buy things cheap from India. And they said, oh, but you can already buy things cheap from India. And I said, well, we want to buy substandard shit from India. That's what we want to buy. Okay, says the bank manager, what do you want to sell? Sell? What do you mean sell? I'm not going to sell anything to anyone. Never got any money. So, even if we did build things, cheap cars, cheap electronics, even if we made cheap clothes and produced cheap food for peasants, they wouldn't be able to afford it because of the shipping costs. And also minimum wage. I mean, that comes into it, yeah. Anyway, the point being, we had a mini budget. This was the best. This was the absolute best. We managed to wipe out, in one afternoon, £425 billion. With a B. £billion from pension funds in Britain. British pension funds. That's what I say. So everyone on their triple locked final salary pension, doing fine, obviously. But anyone else, well, you're up shit creek without a paddle, aren't you? I'm sorry, you're never going to retire. You're going to keep working till you drop, like the Queen or David Attenborough. Has anyone checked on David today? Make sure he's all right. Keep him in gin and swans, whatever keeps him going. Anyway, right, Saltburn. Yes, indeed, Saltburn. Great show. What can I say? Don't make friends with the plebs. You know what they'll do? They'll kill you and steal your country manor. And they're not even poor. They're just pretending. Like disabled people in Little Britain. Just pretending. Not really poor. Not really disabled. Just, having a bit of a laugh about it. Just doing it for the attention, really. Anyway, so, yes, Kwasi Kwarteng and Liz Truss sunk the economy, which you would think would be, some kind of offence. Robbed a bank, you get put in jail. Although if you're a banker and you rob the people, you get a OBE, or a CBE, or an MBE, or a knighthood, or a place in the House of Lords, like my friend Ian Botham, who got his place in the House of Lords because he once tweeted a picture of his cock. Which is worth mentioning now and again because people forget. People forget. Claire Fox, she got her place in the House of Lords by supporting the IRA and the right of Gary Glitter to download child porn. Yes, that really happened. You can look it up. Anyway, right, so moving on. Does the mug contain champagne? No. Darjeeling, a chap. Darjeeling, which I had flown in from Darjeeling on my private jet this morning. Oh, fuck the planet, as I say. Anyway, so yes, Kwasi Kwarteng messed up the entire economy. Gave it a good kicking. So along came Sunak. We went to Winchester together. Oh, he was great. He was my favourite cox. Of the rowing team. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, so we used to do debating. We used to do a big debating together where everyone would join us in this whole sort of mass debate. It was great days in Winchester. Made us the men we are today. And that and the beatings, the quite sadistic beatings, which did me no harm. I just want to make that very clear. It did me no harm, and I've sent my children to private school. They can get beaten too. More likely to get abused there, you see. And I don't like my children very much, so Sodom. And I also want them to look after me when I'm old. So, if I make sure that they go and get a really good job, it might cost 100,000 in fees to send them there. But, at the end of the day, but they will get a £100,000 a year job. So, quit in. Really, that's the way the system works. You gotta love it. Anyway, so we had Rishi Sunak come along, and he had his 5 pledges. He said he was going to stop the boats. I don't know what boats he was going to stop. Maybe Stockholm. Maybe he was going to stop. I don't know. The boats full of stuff that we want to trade from leaving the shores of this country to go other places to sell them stuff like beef jerky from Australia, which we can't do. It's illegal. They can sell us all the beef they want. Well, it's not quite true. They can sell us 20,000 tons of beef, and we can't sell them a single strip of beef jerky. Hello. Electric gaming. Thank you very much for the cast of questions, old chap. That is very, very kind of you. I should have made a little animation that said cash for questions. Oh, I should have changed my background as well, so it was that hideous wallpaper from the hideous people, that lot. Yes, I'm not in disguise as a Tory, I'll have you know. I am a Tory. I love the Tories. The Tories just do good. That's all they do. They go around doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things for all of us, They help. I don't know how they help, but they do. They really do help. Anyway, so yes, I should probably change my background, shouldn't I? I was just thinking about that. So, Rishi's 5 tasks. One of them was to halve inflation, which wasn't hard because inflation was at 11% because of Kwasi Kwarteng and Liz Truss. Now, if he'd pledged to get inflation down to 2%, or maybe not be in a party that got it up to 11% in the first place, that would be marvellous. But yes, he's gone some way on that one. I love him for it. But on the old stopping the boats thing, yeah, not so good. No, they're still coming. But what can you do? What can you do? You try your best to, discourage people from coming here by giving them a 1 in a million chance of going to Rwanda. Which is a terrible place, a wonderful place, a terrible place, a wonderful place, a terrible place. It's a wonderful place. It's a terrible, wonderful place. Yes, it's terrible as it is as terrible as it is wonderful. I'll have you know. Do you know why? Do you know why it's so terrible? Well, because of the wonderful things it does. No, terrible things it does. Almost at war at the moment with the DRC next door. Yes, they're gearing up for armed conflict. A bit of that going on in Goma. Central Africa, old chap. Oh, the good old days. Anyway, so we're going to send people over there. And that should be as much discouragement as we need to stop people doing naughty things. Just like the law against stealing things, dealing drugs and murder, stop people doing those things. Absolutely stop the people from doing those things that we don't want them to do. We just make it against the law. We say, you've got to have some kind of, disincentives to go around, bludgeoning people over the head, getting away with murder. You know what the Tories are like. Anyway, so I'm going to go over to the papers now. Should we go over to the papers? I think we should go over to the papers. Someone's saying it's April the 1st. What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with the price of fish? Papers. Now, pronto. Right, okay. We have the Daily Telegraph, the Tory Graph, my favourite paper. Council tax to double for 80% of second homes. This is disgraceful behaviour. This is what we could come to expect when the old Tories are kicked out of power. And those horrible Labour people with Sir Keith, I call him Sir Keith, I'm very funny, comes in. When that happens, they're in so much trouble. And King gets the green light for walkabout, which is very nice because we don't want King Charles not doing so well. Get well, so King jokes. I'm doing my best. He's doing his best indeed. Did you know that if you die without any issue or dependents or a will in the city of Liverpool, your money goes to King Charles? Did you know that? Yes, because it's part of the historic Duchy of Lancaster. Just thought you might want to know. Anyway, long waits in A&E kill 250 people per week. Poor people who can't afford private care. So do I care? No, I don't, because I'm a Tory. Tories don't care about these things. You have to understand we have better things to do than to care about, I don't know, the impoverished, the poor. I mean, woe is me. I've got no money. and now I'm dead. Just because I've got their money. I mean, it's just, my heart bleeds. It really does. But, it's not like Labour are going to be any different. It's not like the waiting times came down under Labour. It wasn't like at the end of Labour's last time in power, they managed to get the satisfaction, customer satisfaction, audience satisfaction to previously unseen levels. Just absolutely beautiful high levels, the highest in the world, I think, at the time. I think that's what it was. It was great. But then, obviously, along comes the Tories and make it the worst system for, being, if you're not rich. Worst system if you're not rich. Simple as that. Anyway, 250 needless deaths each week due to agonising wait in A&E. Is this the Tories' fault? No, it's not. NHS crisis laid bare, as Royal College report warns over the impact of hospital bed shortages. It's not the Tories' fault. They've only been in charge for 14 years. You can't expect them to be looking after the NHS, They've been selling little bits of it off to their friends in other countries for many years now. Your NHS data is safe, I'm sure, with a company called Planetary, which named itself after the evil-seeing orbs out of Lord of the Rings. Now, people say, Graham, those orbs weren't originally evil. Yes, but they are now. Okay, so they weren't evil to start with, and then they became evil. That does happen. Unlike us Tories, we were born evil. Stay evil till the day we die. King shows strength there. He's actually moving something with the Force in that picture. Plan to scrap non-dom status is... this is The Guardian. Plan to scrap non-dom tax status is full of loopholes for the super rich. Don't tell anyone, Guardian. Come on, Sir Keith, Owen Jones, come on, get in there, we're all okay Tory people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on, Sunak's small boats plan at risk from Home Office indecision. Yes, it's still the Home Office's fault. Maybe not Sunak's name. And then it's Elvis. He's haunting Las Vegas. He is. That's very true. And also, companies launch wave of bonds to hedge against US election volatility. That's the Financial Times there, the old FT. Oh, I got a super chat. No, I didn't get a super chat. I want ask for questions. Come on. I mean, it can't be... Look, my name's come up and everything. I didn't expect all that to happen, but it did. Does anyone want to ask me a question? Anyone? Before I go? I've only got a few minutes left. Does anyone want to ask what you have to pay for it? I'm not having any questions being asked without getting some cash in return. Cash for peerages, cash for questions, cash. It's the only thing I care about on this Easter Monday, where, we're all good eggs. At the Tory party, we're all good eggs. We smashed the economy. We ruined everything, pretty much. Rishi Sunak came along, said he was going to level up. Leveling up. Oh, that was a wheeze, wasn't it? So what we said to the people in the north is, vote for us and we'll give you money. We lied. We gave them fuck all. No, really, we did. We took away the access to funding from the EU, which would have gone into places like Sunderland and Liverpool and Blackpool and places like that. And we took all that money away. And now you have to apply to get money. So, where my country estate is here in Durham, next door to the Cummingses, we have spent over £1 million bidding for levelling up funding, and we haven't got any. That was money well spent, I fear. Yes, it was. Anyway, sucks to be Keith, eh? That bloody do-gooding lawyer. I mean, going around the world, stopping people from, I don't know, murdering their own citizens. I mean, he's evil, obviously. His hair annoys me, and he's not the Jeremiah, Should we have a reading from the book of Jeremiah? He said such wonderful things. I remember when he stood up in front of the heaving, sweaty crowds at Glastonbury, and he said, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. You had to be there to really see it, tear my eye, Everyone quotes that speech because it was so memorable, the speech that was made on that day in Glastonbury, when he stood up And he said something. Yes. But Sir Keith isn't Jeremiah. He never will be. Because he can possibly win an election. That was a little joke there. Anyway, so anyone else interested in levelling up? Because that's what Rishi Sunak said he was going to do. He was going to improve the economy, get rid of the votes. He was going to bring down inflation. And he was also going to bring down waiting lists. And as we saw today on the front covers of the papers, 250 people. 250 people a week die due to needless waits at A&E. That's our legacy. That's the Tory party. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a party political broadcast on behalf of the Tory party on Tory Social. We've been in charge now for 67 of the last 100 years, and basically we've made a big pig's ear of everything that we've ever tried to do. In the 1960s, we destroyed the railways. In the 1980s, we destroyed the trade unions, and in the 2010s and 2020s, we destroyed everything. Everything. Disaster capitalism 101. So, thank you very much. Leapshin says, stick to my day job. I don't have a day job. I'm a Tory. I just go around shooting animals that don't need to be shot. Then we let the hounds rip them apart. Because we're civilized, you see. Civilization. Has he leveled up your driveway yet? Oh, well, yes, obviously. I mean, you leveling up funding is basically for the rich. Or when they say it's for the North, they mean it's for North London. Yes, indeed. No cash today. It's a bank holiday. It's very expensive to make the oiks work today, says Christopher Bowles. Well, there you go. What's the weekly COVID deaths running at? I don't know. Are we even still monitoring that? I wouldn't know. Anyway, right, it's 10 o'clock now. I'm going to go in a moment. Graham has swapped his Honda Civic for a balloon and will shortly be embarking on an 80-day journey around the world again. Well, I can't go around the world without flying in a balloon, because that would literally be flying. I don't think in the book he goes in the balloon. I've got to say, I might be wrong, but I think in the book he doesn't balloon it around the world. But I might be misremembering it. It was a very long time ago. Is your Bentley double parked? Yes. Yeah, it's double parked and next to the roller. We've made so much money. We've made so much money, and it breaks my heart that it does look like we're on the way out. We are circling the drain, as they say in the medical profession. Just like the 250 people that we kill, Brits, every week, because we can't do our job properly, because we're incredibly incompetent. If that was a foreign occupying army killing that many Brits, I'm sure we would be having words to say about it, but as it is, it's our own, so that's okay. Just like the Krays, hey? He only killed his own. They only killed their own. I suppose there was two of them, wasn't there? Do you like pigs? I love pigs. Literally. Yeah, your Bentley's just been carted off on the back of a flatbed. What? No, it's not. I own the company that tows the things away. How do you think I made all my money? That and buying up bomb sites and saying, hey, it's a car park now. Bomb sites, car parks. Great way to make money. Very Tory way to make money. But there you go. Charging people for, parking their car for an hour, £10 a pop for an hour. Costs more than rent. Staying in an actual house or a hotel for a car to stay in. Very strange. Anyway, yes, I've done my bit. Right. Okay, right. I'm going to get off now. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have that terrible socialist, Graham Hughes. He'll be here because Phil is doing Thursday and Friday this week on the old Tory Social. I'm doing tomorrow. Normal service may be resumed. I don't know. Or we could just do this again. Since you enjoyed it so much today. I don't know. Right, anyway, Bastard is back. Indeed. Well, been emotional. Thank you very much for watching the show this morning. It's been fun. I'm very sorry. I feel the urge to apologize for the people whose names don't come up on the outro. I'm going to try and get that sorted today, because it is a bank holiday. We should, get these things done while we can. And it's raining, so it's not like I can work in the garden. Put people to work in the garden. A gardener. Put my gardener to work in the garden. That's the one. Rock and roll, people. Thanks for coming back to us, Graham. What? I never went away. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed Tory Social today on April the 1st, 2024. And like I say, I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 for Morning Brew again, if you can take it. And until then, I'll say thank you very, very much for watching. You've been a wonderful audience. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and I love the Tories. Oh!